So got this Honda. Customer was stating that it would just run and then die right out, kind of like the choke was stuck on. And he just kind of got fed up with it, so I bought it from him. And this is it. Quick walkthrough. Instantly pulled the airbox off. It's full of gas. Air filter is saturated. Mouse nest in there. I'm gonna have to go through the carburetor. It's just gummed up and the needle stuck probably. But this will be a good little project. I like these Honda Foremans. They're built tough. It's got new rubber on it. All the plastics are solid, not torn. It's gonna be a nice machine. So we're back with the Honda Foreman. I've got the front hubs off. We're gonna do all new wheel cylinders and front brakes on this because, as you can see, they're pretty rusted in. They actually don't move at all. This side's really bad. On this side, it's not really that bad. Everything's free except for one. So we're just gonna do both. Get this thing back up and moving freely. You couldn't even push it in neutral. It's pretty bad, but take these off. It's pretty simple. You gotta disconnect your brake line. Got 2 bolts, and then it just comes out this way. So this side has 2, the other side has 2. We'll get some new ones in there, and new brake shoes, springs, all the hardware. And then just gotta wait for some more parts. I've got a carburetor rebuild kit coming, new seat. I gotta do all the fluids, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a good project. It's gonna look really nice when it's all set. So yeah, right now I got it draining oil. This thing was full of gas and oil mix. So right there is your drain plug. Filter is right up here. There's 3 screws, and that faceplate comes off. And we'll get a new filter in it. But just kind of wanted to show you where that's located. And then we'll get it filled back up, and then get the carburetor cleaned. That's the next step, and then fire it up. Now the next phase, after I've changed the oil, got the fuel mixture out of the crankcase, new gasket, new spark plug. Right now I'm trying to attach all the cables for the throttle and the choke, and pretty much just get the carburetor back in here, get it set, and then once that is all taken care of, I'll go ahead, attach the fuel tank, get some fuel to it, and just fire it up for the first time. Hopefully it will do its thing and run nice. All right, we got everything hooked up here. I got the carb on, oil changed, all that good stuff. Got the fuel tank on with some gas. And we're gonna just do the first startup here. Can't get any better than that. Runs really well. Alright, well, that's going to do it for tonight. We'll get back on it in the morning. Well, it's the next day here. I'm tackling the speedometer. I wanted to try to take it apart and see if I can fix I think it's the LCD screen. Yes, it's a little oxidized, but deeper down in, there's a screen. I think I can replace it. It's a polarized LCD film. Just kind of gets burned out from the sun. So I got this all disconnected here. There's 4 bolts on the back side. They go through right here on the pod, and then your wiring goes down through this hole. And I'll just show you quick where that plugs into, because it's kind of tricky. But you follow the wires down your stem. There's a couple of connectors to take off. And right there, that gray one that the light's on, you can see it in the far back. That's where that screen plugs in. You have to take all the clips out. It's kind of buried in there, so just got to be patient with it. Then you take out the 4 nuts on those studs for the screen, and then that whole module comes off. The headlight and everything, that's like two 12 millimeters on each side, and then 2 10s, one here, one on the other side, and then a little Phillips head right there. And then that whole thing comes off. So now I'm going to get into this screen, see what's behind there, and hopefully I'm right, and I think I can replace that. So let's get at it. Alright, so I've got the head display out, and this is what the back side looks like. There's 2 connectors, one for each side of the circuit board. That is your circuit board. So your circuit board is attached to this module here with 3 screws. So 1, 2, and 3. And the circuit board comes up, so then you can unplug it. And this right here, this plastic piece is held over with the glass onto the circuit board. But there's these tabs on the back side that actually go through the circuit board, and they're kind of twisted sideways to lock itself in. I'll kind of show you if I can here without wrecking too much. But you'll see those rectangle slots. Those are where those tabs go in. Once you get those out, there's these rubber, I don't know what they are, but they make the connection to the glass. You'll see the connection lines. So I just put those back into position so we won't lose them. And then this is your lens piece. This is what gets faded. I had already taken it off. You can see that's exactly what was burned. So that film has to get replaced. So I scraped it off, cleaned up the glass. Everything looks really nice and smooth. No dust or anything. And at this point, that's where you're going to apply your new film. There's the film on the back side of this too.
which appears to be good, so I'm not going to touch that. But I'm just going to get this once I get the new film, and I'll kind of show you the instructions for that. I'm kind of learning as I go also, but I figured there aren't really many forums on the Foreman. This is an ES, so they don't actually make this head display anymore, so that's why I'm doing this. I figured it was worth a shot. So once I get that new film in, we'll go from there, and should be back up and running. So I got the LCD screen display all hooked back up and together. I corrected the issue, got everything working just fine. The way I did it was prior to this video, you could see how I took it all apart. The part that I bought was this LCD polarizing film, and it's a nice, I think it's 7.5 by 11 sheet. So I bought this, and you have to cut it to size and just cover that glass. But you have to cut it, you have to be careful and cut it at the right angle so it displays it correctly. But it worked out really well. Everything clear as day, really easy to read. Saved me a lot of money. Bought 2 sheets of this, $24. Can't really beat that. It's better than buying a whole new display, and they don't make the display anymore, so really didn't have a choice. Again, really happy how it came out. Kind of easy to do, just got to be patient. All right, so I got everything back together on the Honda. We are doing the final thing that I want to do is just adjusting the toe. So I've got everything up on the lift here. The way you do this one was kind of bowed out a little bit. So the front 2 tires were kind of spread out. So I brought them back in towards the center of the machine. And the way you do that is right here, your tie rod and your tie rod arm. There's a jam nut here and a jam nut on the inner one. You can loosen those up, and then right here there's a slot cut out where 7/16 wrench will fit, and then you can either spin this in or spin it out, and that will adjust your toe in, toe out. So I had to do this on both sides to bring this back in towards the center, and I think it did. I think it came out pretty well. Looks how it should be. So we'll go ahead and get this off the lift, and we'll check it that way, and just kind of go through it quick, see what I did and the final product. So yeah, it looks much better. It's gonna drive a lot better, steer a lot better. But yeah, that's it. She came out pretty well. I did all the fluids, rebuilt the carburetor, got a nice new seat on it. Went through, steam cleaned everything. Did a service on all the fluids, filters. Replaced a couple of missing things. Went through, redid the LCD display. Got everything working how it should. Came out really well. There's just a little pink fade on the back, but it has all new tires. Looks really good. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably do another video where I put a winch on the front, because this machine does have a snow plow. So the plow on it is a manual lift. Not a fan of those, so I would definitely like to get a winch. But really happy with how this turned out. It's a nice fresh machine. Gave it another life.